Joya got a ring. Jasha came through with a rock. I'm not sure how many carats that was, but she was a happy girl. Jasmine had a good night. Zayd took her to some location where they can see the skyline of Atlanta, and he popped the question with a real ring this time.
Yeah, I guess he learned from that bad.
And Catherine? Well, Catherine went home with some naked fingers.
Not a good look if you are Ricky.
Smokey may just make an appearance.
Welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we're going to be talking about OWN Network's reality-based TV series, Put a Ring on It, season number 4, episode number 10.
But before we get into that, please like, share, and subscribe. Please click that notification button so you know when we upload new content. And we thank you and appreciate you for your support of this channel. So here we go. Start off with Catherine. Catherine, in the counseling session, she started crying. The coach asked her what was the problem. She said that she knows who she wants to be with, Ricky.
Maybe she was really crying because she knew she might regret her decision later on.
She said that has learned a lot. The biggest problem was Smokey coming out and saying some raggedy things to Ricky. She admitted that she may have been abusive to him with what she said, and she got a stomp Smokey into the ground so she never raises her ugly head again.
Yeah, and on the other side of their relationship, Ricky admitted that he has really learned how to listen to Catherine and not take what she's saying, I guess, for lack of a better expression, for granted.
Yeah.
And he also mentioned that he was really proud of, and I'm paraphrasing here, the work that she has done on herself to kind of make it easier for him to communicate to her.
Yes, and he was encouraged to start communicating and feel safe that he can speak up. Zay invited Jasmine's mom out, and he said he wanted to pick her brain because he's now preparing himself to pop the question, and he wanted to know what she thought of it. So mom came through and he had some flowers for mom, and mom got to the point. He indicated that he wanted to find out how she would feel if he popped the question.
Yeah, and I guess she sarcastically, or maybe even seriously, or somewhere in between those 2 points, asked him, "Are you for real this time? Or are you ready this time?" Because the last time it was a promise ring. She was direct about it too.
Yeah, she should be.
So she was just trying to make sure that it wasn't promise ring episode 2.0.
Right. And he assured her that was not going to be the case. And she said that Jasmine does want to get married and she's happy for him if he intends on doing that.
Yeah, and Zay said it didn't happen the first time because it wasn't the right time.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. And it's different this time because of what?
Well, he talked about the recession and all this other stuff.
I don't know. Mama didn't really seem altogether convinced from my vantage point, but that's just me.
The coach told them that she's going to meet with all of them individually. So first up was Ricky. Ricky said that the process was enlightening for him, and she tells him that he got to be sure what he's going to do if Smokey pops off. He understands and recognizes that he has not been communicating with Catherine effectively, and he's going to try to do so going forward.
And Ricky also said that he realizes that marriage will be difficult
Yes.
and that he's prepared to really go that route with the woman that he loves, i.e. Catherine.
And then we see Catherine. She came through. She said she feels good. She loves the process. She learned a lot to be the woman she can be, regardless if she gets a ring or not. We will test that theory pretty soon.
Well, in response to what Catherine had to say, I thought Dr. Stacy came up with a really good response, and that was, to first of all affirm Ricky, which kind of addresses, the issue of Smokey. The second thing that she advised Catherine to do was to speak her truth. She can definitely do that, but just not in a way that Smokey would do it.
Right. And she also told Catherine that she got to stop this negative speak she got in her head about herself. And she needs to turn away from that and flip it on its head. And that's a true statement right there.
Mhm.
So Jasha meets with Joya's father. He started telling him that he's ready to maybe pop the question and how he feels. And then Winston told him that, when two people agree to get married, they have to play in the same game together and they must have no substitution.
Same time and also same rules as well.
Exactly.
Really good words to live by if you've been married 41 years, like Winston has to
Hmm.
his wife.
Right.
So I hope Jasha was listening.
And then he also told Jasha, just to put that pressure point on, that he only has one grandchild from Joya, and he hopes to have a second one pretty quick because the clock is ticking. She's not getting any younger.
Yeah, he did say that in his confessional that he felt like he had some really big decisions to make, and that he was going to go about doing that, and maybe an effort to further their relationship to the next level.
Right. So Jasmine meets with the coach, and Jasmine is grateful for the process. She said she too learned a lot, and she found out that Zay was not the problem. The problem may have been her trying to control stuff, and she got to now put aside those things so she can get to a better place and understanding with Zay.
Yeah, where she was at the time that Dr. Stacy asked her, where she feels like she's at in the relationship currently, she said it's a 50-50, I guess, middle of the road kind of position for her right now. She doesn't know, what to really expect from Zay, and that she can't really say that she feels good about receiving a ring from him because the last time she did that, she got a ring, but it wasn't an engagement ring; it was a promise ring. Jasmine was trying to protect her feelings
Yeah,
from being hurt again.
she's guarding her heart. And she also mentioned that in one of the dates that they went on, she was troubled that he openly complimented one of his dates, calling her beautiful with her standing right there. And she thought that was disrespectful and that was still in her craw a little bit. So hopefully she's able to get over that and move forward. The process showed her how she should listen more. She should be concerned about what Zay wants as well, and it can't be what she wants all the time.
Well
So,
said. Well said.
yeah, I thought so too. Zay and Jasmine go out on a date.
Private restaurant deal, and it was overlooking seemingly the Atlanta skyline, and it was a
It was
nice
a
touch,
nice,
nice
yeah.
touch from him.
And then he told her that how much he loves her, how she is his life. They're gonna have ups and downs, but they always gonna have each other. You could see that he was sincere, and she was just lapping it up. She was overjoyed that he went through all the trouble to lay that stuff out or have someone do it. She really felt special. No distractions. He didn't have his phone. Not a whole lot of people were around, and she had his full attention, and she was joyful about that.
Yeah, and she was also very, very specific about her biggest issue with Zay, and that was her feeling like she was heard and that he was listening to her and that he was trying to respond based on, what he had listened to.
Right.
And I think he did a very good job of conveying that point to her that, yeah, I'm listening. This is what I've learned how to do. Maybe I didn't know how to do it before, but I've definitely learned how to do it more effectively within our relationship now. And this is the way it's going to be from that here.
Yeah, it's good for them to know how to listen to each other. So I think that was great. And then he took her to see the view. The room was filled with sunflowers, and that's her favorite flower. And she started crying. She was overjoyed. She felt so happy, and he had a card. She was so joyful that all of a sudden, two guys came through and opened the curtains, and it said, "Will you marry me?" And he got on his knees and presented a real ring.
Not a promise one, This one was a rock.
And she, of course, asked if it was real. I don't know what she thought was happening.
Well,
And
she
she,
kind of reverted back to that person that admitted in a private meeting with Dr. Stacy that she wouldn't believe it till she saw it.
right.
And I don't know. I don't know what.
And
Let's make that.
she went into the ugly cry. And then he asked, of course, "Hey, I'm down here on my knees. Of course, it's real. This is as real as I can possibly get." And she eventually said, "Yes, I will marry you."
Yeah, she was crying. She didn't give us the Woody Woodpecker laugh.
Right, right. But she was a happy girl. And she even commented that it's the first time she's ever been engaged.
Yeah, and it was the first time he had ever been engaged as well. So
Right,
congratulations to them, and it seems like the whole process that they've gone through has been well worth it.
right. They learned some lessons to keep for life. So then we go to Joya and Jasha. And guess what? Look what we have here. Jasha prepares a picnic and goes to the park with Joya. Something she's always wanted him to go to the park with her. And he had a table with tablecloth. He had the picnic basket. He had flowers on the table. Joya was very happy. She said, "Wow," because this is something that she's always wanted, and he was never able to give to her. So it's a good thing that he's able to demonstrate that one, he has been listening and he wants to do stuff that is her love language.
Yeah,
And that
he's
was great to see.
Yeah, he said that he learned through the process how to listen to her and to really understand what's really being said about what it is she really wants, you
Right.
know, and he understands it now. He understands her language better, and he's removed his ego out of the way and said, "Okay, I need to do this."
Joya admitted that the doctor helped her to understand that she wanted to control what Jason wanted, and she had to let that go and let him be who he is and be concerned about his needs as well. She's not the only one in the relationship. Above all, what she wants is her man. Right as it's kept, there was an ultimatum, and he responded to it.
Well, but
That's
I
how I see it.
Yeah, but I see it a little differently. I think that Joya kept harping on it and kept it front and center and kept it current. And Jasha didn't respond to it as well as he did when she stopped doing that. I feel free to make my own decision in my own time, and it turned out to be sooner than later. And he had already kind of hinted at the fact that they were moving in that direction anyway in the previous conversation that they had. I believe the last episode he referenced that he didn't feel like she would have to wait uh, till indefinitely regarding having children. Da 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 da.
I think the ultimate goal for whoever signed up for this show was to get that ring. And certainly through the counseling process and the dating process in particular, that moved him forward like never before.
I think
Because without it, they would have been stuck in the same situation one way or the other. But for him to see her saying that he never does, and that I guess hurt him to the core when she said he never does anything, he didn't like that, and he certainly didn't like her getting gifts from other men. So he has stepped up, and I think the process was the thing that put some heat in our feet because just like Zay said, he had frozen feet. Perhaps Jasha had frozen feet as well, but I
so.
think
You
that
think the
that
ultimatum
stuff.
called him out?
Amen. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying that I don't. It's not that I disagree with you, but I also think that, like I said, her realizing that constant drumbeat about when are we going to do this, when are we didn't going to do that, was not as effective as the new approach she learned. That's
Jay reminded Joy of her favorite song, and who knew there was a boombox playing her favorite song on the knees with a ring, a beautiful ring, mind you. And he put that thing on her finger, and she too was a very happy girl.
Yeah, that rock blinded the daylight, didn't it? Out there in the park, didn't it?
It was doing what it's supposed to do. It was bright and big and glittery, and a diamond really is a blessing for a man. And you know why? If the man pisses the woman off, she could look down at that rock, and it could start shining and glowing and glittering, and it distracts her from all the heat she could potentially get.
Okay, all right.
All right.
I ain't saying nothing. I'm quiet on this one.
Catherine and Ricky. and they're dressed. They go to some restaurant or something, and they're talking and chatting it up. He's telling her how much he loves her and how much work she has done to get to a better, higher place. And she's telling him she has seen so much growth in him. She apologized for speaking to him sideways, and she decided that somebody in the relationship got to go, and that has to be Smokey.
I'm gonna again, and I've said this before, but it's a point that bears repeating. I have to tip my hat to Catherine. She has been on this. I guess this journey to kind of learn how to do things differently. And to me, she's been very sincere about it. And while it hadn't been easy, she has accomplished her goal and arrived at her destination in terms of perceiving and doing things differently in order to put herself in a position to get what it is that she ultimately wants. And I have to say, well done to Catherine as it relates to this. Process that she went through and how it came out, how it worked out in the end for her, just as it relates to herself and the changes that she made,
Right.
that she needed to make. Now, having said that, let me say this. I still am waiting to hear Ricky own up to something that he was doing and throughout the course of their relationship that got them in the place of being stuck before they actually got a chance to meet with Dr. Stacy and become a part of this process. I think that the closest thing that I heard him kind of reveal was that he needed to learn how to communicate more effectively to her, and that's it.
Right.
But that's not necessarily, admitting, from my vantage point, what he did that contributed to the problem that got them in this place of being stuck. Yeah.
Right, because she's not in that relationship by herself. And Catherine did say now, in the space that she is in, where she has some level of clarity, she said she's gonna just let Ricky be who he be, and just gonna try to communicate with him more effectively. And it doesn't matter whether he gives her a ring or not.
That was not true,
Um,
not accurate. I think it matters to her. She might not, even though she's in a new place, in a new space, in a place that's very good now that she's made the decision to keep on rolling with Ricky. I don't think that that was being honest.
don't tell yourself stories. Please don't tell
Uh,
yourself stories. He decided that getting engaged right now was not the thing to do. They still have some work to do.
yeah,
It
it seems like
seems like a cop out.
well, it seems like a sidestep of the not only the process but also the issues that are in the process of being addressed by them going through this process together because they are currently being addressed. And I think that if they continue on, they can continue to use the tools that they've learned from Dr. Stacy and learned, in an effort to learn both from each other and with each other. But I don't think that that's in and of itself enough to stop them or prevent them from moving down that road together. I mean, if he were really thinking that much about the progress and the growth that they've made together, and especially from his vantage point, the progress that Catherine has made, then why not reaffirm her and make it official so that you're at a place where you understand that one, I'm serious, two, I've showed it to you, and three, I'm still willing to do the work to make us, better as we move towards marriage.
Did Catherine look disappointed when he told her that they should not get engaged right now?
Disappointed, deflated, maybe, surprised, maybe a little bit. I wouldn't say mad, but maybe a little deflated, deflated and surprised. Even though he knows and she knows that they both still have work to do, they can do, they can do that while engaged to kind of show her and prove to her that, hey, look, I said what I meant and I meant what I said.
Well,
What?
I guess I hope she still has Marcus's number.
She made the choice for herself to continue to rock with him and to be with him. So, okay, now that it has worked out to where you guys are still a couple, it's time for you to kind of work out when you are going to make it official and be engaged to the love of your life, Catherine. And that needs to be sooner than later.
Anyway, that's all we have. We
Mm.
wish them well. If Catherine and Ricky comes up with something that's workable that does not include them living in his parents' home, and that she has some level of independence, have her own spot, because he went through this process and there's no ring. So I would hope that she understands she gotta get independent quickly. And if she wants to stay in Atlanta, fine, but she needs to get her own place.
Agreed 100 and what, 10, 20, 30, whatever percent. Agreed. She needs to have her own place. That's first and foremost. Outside of that family's house, Ricky needs to have another place outside of his family's house. So that's two and three. He needs to stop bullshitting. Stop bullshitting, bro. Go on and do that thing. She's proven that she's willing to change who she is. And when I say who she is, I'm talking about the stuff that she needs to work on, the issues that she has, and those that negative Smokey character that is her, what is it, alter ego, I guess. So you need to tighten up, bro.
But it
Tighten
pivots
up.
back to what we have seen. We are yet to see Ricky identify those issues that he may have, and to work on them as well. So I hope Catherine is watching and observing. And that's all we're going to say about that.